have all of you in this in this opportunity, and we are so glad to see there are like 49 participants that will join us to in this writing workshop. My name is Leonie Sondang Suryani, and today I will be your moderator for today's event. And the second workshop aims to dissect the key components of a journal article. We want to understand topics such as how should author frame the introductions, what makes a good introduction, how should authors write the lit review section, and also how to manage writer blocks and many things that we will learn from our speakers today. And for your information, APJED will have more sessions like this that will discuss different parts of academic journal writing. So please stay in touch with us, and we will send you an invitation to join our other writing workshop next time. And also for all of you who just joined our writing workshop today, you can watch our previous workshop recording on Perludem's YouTube channel. Before we start the event, allow me to introduce also our journal, Asia Pacific Journal of Election and Democracy, or APJED. So APJED is a new journal managed by Perludem and Joko Suteno Research Center of Universitas Indonesia, and it is published twice a year and fully supported by USAID. We aim to be an inclusive forum for researchers, practitioners, and activists to develop collective knowledge on issues related to election and democratizations in Asia Pacific. So we welcome all of you to submit your paper to APJED, because for now, APJED is looking for contributors to write for APJED Volume 2, Issue 2, which will be published in December. Actually, today is the deadline of the submission, but if you need more time to submit, because you just know the information, don't hesitate to contact us at journal@perludem.org. And if you're interested to write for APJED, please visit APJED's website at www.apjed.org. And you can also read and download APJED's article for free. Okay, that's about APJED. And for today's writing workshop, we are really grateful that Professor Sulistiawati Irianto has been kindly willing to share her insight based on her experience. Good afternoon, Professor.
Good afternoon, Leonie. Good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you so much, Prof. Sulis, for coming as our speakers today. And I would like to introduce Prof. Sulis to all of the participants. So Prof. Sulistiawati Irianto is a professor of anthropology of law and also teach law, society, and development studies at Universitas Indonesia. She also has an experience as a visiting researcher and professor at many famous universities, such as Kyoto University and Van Vollenhoven Institute Leiden Law School. Other than that, Prof. Sulis is also active in developing gender and legal studies and social legal studies in Indonesia, and is a member of various professional associations. As a lecturer, she is productive in conveying her ideas through popular writings, journals, and books, especially for issues of women and children, indigenous people, and anti-corruption, and also got many awards. Okay, without further ado, please welcome Professor Sulistiawati Irianto. Prof. Sulis, the session is yours.
Thank you so much for introducing me to all the participants. Let me share my material. Everyone see my PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Leonie asked me to share with you on how to write a good article in a journal, yeah? And this is what I want to share with you. There are 5 steps to write an article. And you can see on the right side, sorry, yes. First, you have to know the topic. And then you read, ikro, yeah. And doing a research on that topic. And then you go further to make an outline and plan, and then start your writing. And finally, you should refine and edit all your work. And there are essential components of a journal article. And then I would say that writing a journal article means building a logic. That is why this is very important to have capacity to write a good paragraph and concise sentence. To produce a research paper, first you must have a research report. It means that you did a research already. And a research paper is a kind of an iceberg, not the whole substance of the research report, but only more or less 10% of the research report you choose to be an article. Yeah, the rest 90% still remain in the report. Yeah, and the article research paper is not a common report, but you can evaluate, interpret, or add and modify your own writing. And second, to consider why and how we choose certain topic within the whole research, within the 400 pages of your research report. Yeah, or you can develop insight of the material, take a stand, and express original ideas on it. What a research paper is: synthesizing research findings. You already have more research findings every day, and you finish your research report. Yeah, and then the data you have is very rich, and then you go to evaluate and interpret about the data. Yeah, an academic work with originality. It doesn't mean that you are the first person who did a research about certain topic. No, originality means, I want to explain further. Yeah, mentioning all material used in the paper. You can, of course, all the resource, you should mention it in footnote and then in the reference. This is a common look of journal article, mostly. Yeah, abstract and introduction. The introduction consists of 4 essential elements like the topic, thesis statement, conceptual framework, and research method. And the body of the article will be in a research findings, and you end it with discussion and analysis, and then conclusions or epilogue. Abstract is the first thing you should have. It should be a brief and concise paragraph about the research paper. It is mainly the essence of the research problem, method, or methodological reflections and findings. I would give you an example. This is my own article published in Journal of Legal Pluralism and Unofficial Law. This paper attempts to explain how legal pluralism as a sensitizing concept plays a role as an auxiliary in looking at phenomena where there is a coexistence between various legal systems. Look at the first sentence. I already mentioned certain concept, legal pluralism. Yeah, the legal pluralism approach carries methodological consequences that require a researcher to use microscopic lenses. Yeah, these microscopic lenses well known in ethnography of law or anthropological studies. Yeah, to observe the relation between law and relevant actors in cross-border spaces. In these sentences, I would say about the legal pluralism has certain methodological consequences. It is also important to examine the interrelation between the concept of personhood with law in the context of legal pluralism. Personhood is another concept I use in my paper. Without a legal pluralism approach linked with a relational approach that looks at the connections between law and actors, research would not be able to generate a significant narrative about how law works. In this paper, the conceptual and methodological reflection on legal pluralism are linked to a research on the diversity of legal references that regulate the issue of Indonesian female migrant workers in the United Arab Emirates, with all its implication for actual access to justice for women. At the end of this sentence, I mentioned what is my research about. This is about the diversity of legal reference dealing with Indonesian female migrant worker in the UAE, and what is the implications of the diversity of legal reference to access to justice for that women migrant worker. Now we arrive at the essential components you must have to make a good introductions. The first component is background of study. I will give you a kind of analogy. In this regard, you should do a kind of zooming. You make a film. You have 3 steps of zooming. Yeah. The first zooming is you should write about what is the research paper is about. Why is it important? This is what I will call as introductory paragraphs. And the second, what have you known about the topic already? You should base it on literature, any kind of article, the newest article on that topic, a book, information, etc., etc. And please make it brief and concise, because all the long explanation will be in the other part of this introduction that will be in a theoretical framework. Yeah. So in this part, you should write it brief and concise. And the third, this is very important. What do you want to add to the body of knowledge? What knowledge are you going to produce after all the authors, after all the previous author that their article or information or book you already have it? Yeah. So what do you want to add to all the the body of knowledge? This is very important to mention. What knowledge will you produce? Because this is your novelty. You are not the first researcher. You are not the first author. It could be happen that your topic already researched by 100% previously, but you should come up with a new angle or new informations or new knowledge about the topic. Yeah, so you have got the novelty. And the second essential components will be thesis statement. This is very important. Many students do not have idea about what is thesis statement, how to write it down. The thesis statement is a kind of contract between you and your readers. Thesis statement provide direction for readers, a promise that you will follow through on what you write. A commitment reflects how true you are to that commitment, determines how effective your essay is. And the thesis statement, the character is specific because it limits your scope of study, a direction of your study, and problematize your concept. what is that mean? You can tell me a long story about what you want to do with your research. You can telling me story for one night. But I would ask you what concept you want to use to represent all your problems. This is what I mean by problematize your concept. Yeah, debate. It will be debatable, intriguing, argumentative, etc., etc. So you should attract the audience, the reader, to have eagerness to read your paper. Your paper. This statement is a mode to unite all ideas in the whole paper, and it will be a supporting tool to coherence the paper. This is a thesis statement. Is a complete sentence that contains one main idea or main concepts in my term, yeah, main concepts. This idea controls the content of the entire essay. This is the heart of your paper, the heart of your article. This is a thesis statement, yeah. A thesis statement will be followed by some research questions. The research questions, you need research question to concretize your thesis statement, because the thesis statement consists of concepts. This is very abstract, so you have to concretize the concept in your research questions, and to operationalize your concept so that you can do the research and to direct your data collections. Yeah, that's research questions 4. Sorry. Okay. Oh yeah. I should give you example of thesis statement. I pick it up from my own thesis statement in the same article. Yeah. The conceptual and methodological reflection in this paper are linked to a research on the diversity of legal reference governing the lives of Indonesian female migrant workers in the UAE, with implication for access to justice for women. This research utilizes a feminist ethnography and explain how legal practice can be found in the spatiality of social life. In earlier literature, studies of legal pluralism about the spatiality of law were widely ignored, but today the interaction between legal systems across spatial boundaries is widely recognized. It is no longer possible to see various legal systems as separate entities with clear boundaries. This sentences full of concept, yeah. Legal pluralism, access to justice, spatiality of social life, what else? Yeah. Spatial boundaries, yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, that was a thesis statement, and now research question. The questions that the authors attempt to answer to this research are: first, what is the nature of the coexistence of this diverse legal system when applied to the relationship between domestic migrant workers, the state and employers, and the context of the laws used? So I want to know how the nature of the legal pluralism and how when it is applied. Yeah. The second, how can the relational approach explain the connection between identity constructions and the working of the law for female domestic worker. So in this part, I want to know about the connections between identity constructions of the women migrant worker and how it implies the working of the law for them, yeah. And the third, what are the implications of regulatory inconsistencies under conditions of legal pluralism as revealed through the stories of Indonesian domestic workers' daily life experiences in the UAE. This is because I use a feminist perspective or women's studies perspective. So the stories of women is very important part in my study. Yeah? So I want to know the implications of all the inconsistencies on regulatory under condition of legal pluralism. And the third essential components conceptual framework, maybe you are worried about latar belakang theory. So I will make you, I want to make you easier, yeah. Conceptual framework consists of description about the logic to build this research conceptually. What is the logic? Yeah, the logic means you already have certain concepts, and the concept limit your research scope, and the concept direct you to make or to choose a certain literature or a certain theoretical line and direct you to collect the data, yeah? So you have to describe the logic you build in this research conceptually. Theoretical lines is a spirit for any single step of the research method and writing, a direction to organize your data. It will be impossible for you to organize your data or to collect your data first and to organize the data without a conceptual framework, without theoretical line, without the logic, yeah? And the fourth essential component will be research method. What is it? Detailed descriptions about research activities on how to collect your data, how to answer your research question, and what kind of data you need to answer or to explain your thesis statement, your research questions, yeah? This is research method is about. How is the process of gathering data? What method you use to grab data, to hit your research question, to explain, to answer your research questions? What kind of research method will depend on your research questions, of course, yeah? This is not about methodological material or you give a lecture to your reader about methodology, yeah? No. Research method is a story about how to collect the data on and how and what method you use, and then how you analyze the data, and of course methodological reflections. Yeah, this is very important to add your research method part with methodological reflection. So anybody who wants to do a research at the same topic will learn from you methodologically. And the second part of your research paper will be body, that kind findings data, yeah? What is all about? description of all research findings, and please write it down freely, full of creativity, innovation, and imaginations. In this regard, I would say, please ignore all the, normative or rule or any regulations about the methodology. So please feel free to write it down, your data, your material, yeah. So you can have beautiful writings about it, because we are in a social and humanities studies. So your writing should be beautiful, not only academic, scientific, but also beautiful, yeah. Some important substance includes a historical context of the problem, a social, political, economic, or cultural context of the research problem, and for law students, you should provide case studies or legal case. Yeah, this is very important for Indonesian context. I will give you explanations later about it. And of course, you have to discuss and analyze your finding before you arrive at the concluding remark. Yeah, what is analysis means? What analysis means? Give a meaning, evaluations, or interpretations to your data. Yeah, first meaning. And the second meaning, confirming the concept in your thesis statement, in your theoretical framework to the data. The theory says blah blah blah, and what your data says about. You can criticize the concept, you can criticize theory based on your data. Your data could agree or in line with your theory, but the data can argue your concept. It doesn't matter, yeah. That's very good if you have another data, if your data speak about something different from your theory. This is very good. Okay, and now you arrive at the conclusions. Conclusion means theoretical findings about your article, yeah, of your article, sorry. A brief answer to your research question. Please don't write again the data. You just give a brief answer to your research questions and make it like conceptual or theoretical, and of course you may practical lesson learned of your research finding, or theoretical or practical reflection of your study. It will be in your concluding remark. That was it about the about on how to write a good journal article. Should I finish first this, or just continuing with the second part, Leonie?
Yes, Prof. You can continue.
Okay. Like mentioned earlier, writing a paper is like building a logic. So write a good paragraph and a concise sentence will be very much important. The secret to good paragraph writing, yeah, you can see on the right side. Paragraph is a group of sentences that express a complete thought. We are social scientists, humanities studies scientists, so express a complete thought is very important. Yeah, it is usually about 5 to 7 sentences, but it can be longer or shorter. There are 4 essential elements in writing a good paragraph. Yeah, unified around the main idea with supporting sentence. You can see on the right side, yeah, the paragraph will sorry. What is going? Okay. The paragraph consists of topic sentence, supporting ideas, supporting sentences, adding details, and concluding sentence. Yeah. So the paragraph have character to unite. Yeah, unified around the main idea with supporting sentence. Order, organizing the supporting sentence or sentences. Coherence, the quality that makes your writing understandable. And completeness, means well developed. Oh, sorry, yeah. This is what I said before, like in the picture. A paragraph consists of main idea, the key topic in this paragraph. Yeah. Only one topic. A good paragraph has only one key topic. Yeah. Supporting ideas. You can provide evidence, data, or even statistic data that show your support is valid or credible. Yeah. Concluding sentence or summary. Overall main points summarized, evaluated in this part in concluding sentence. I will give you some example about how to write a good paragraph. I quoted from Matthew Gross, students from Monash University. He wrote about the Komnas HAM, Indonesian Komnas HAM, and that penalty. The main ideas of this paragraph is written in the red, yeah. The appointment of National Human Rights National Human Rights Institution Commissioner should be a politically neutral, democratic, and transparent process. He referred to Smith, he used reference, yeah. A good paragraph or a good sentence will use as much as possible references. Yeah, the writer wants to talk about the appointment of Komnas HAM or National Human Rights Institution Commissioner should be political neutral, democratic, and within transparent process. Yeah, that's what he wants to convince us. Yeah, and then he come up with 3 other supporting ideas, 3 other sentences. He quote the Paris Principle that recommend the founding states to stipulate for the fair terms and conditions pertaining to the appointment and dismissal of commissioner, including appropriate safeguards against arbitrary dismissal or non-renewal. Yeah. And then he come up with a second main idea or main sentence, yeah, by quoting Smith, the governing and the governed, yeah. Okay, and then the third main ideas about the process of the appointment, yeah, the recruitment, yeah. And he ended the paragraph with a good example of such shared ownership, and the participatory approach to the selections is highlighted by the Thailand National Human Rights Institutions. Although the appointment process took 2 years, the public were given sufficient opportunity to help shape their commission. So the writer come up with a concluding remark in his paragraph by giving example in Thailand national human rights institutions. The second example, he wants to give us another information. Scholarship in the field of human rights and particular national human rights institutions has developed substantially since the end of the Cold War as a wave of democratizations swept across the globe. He refers Cardinals and Smith, and he wants to convince us about the scholarship in the field of human rights developed since the Cold War by adding the supporting ideas or sentences in the blue color. The work of Thomas Rice and Catherine Sickling note that the end of the Cold War signified a change in the world time and coincided with the rise in national institutions and the strengthening of international human rights mechanisms. Most of the current academic literature on national human rights institutions provides detailed discussions on how effective national human rights institutions should operate and circumstances accounting for their proliferations on a global scale. Within the human rights discourse, there appears to be limited academic analysis on the specific powers of the Komnas HAM or any other national human rights institution for that matter to effect change on any particular area of law. So he wants to end the sentence about the scholarship with this thesis will aim to further develop upon the previous analysis of the Komnas HAM and focus on the extent to which they can utilize their mandate in attempting to enact legal reform on the death penalty in Indonesia. The third example will be very important for law students. I want to show you that this writer is successful to talk about many articles without making a copy paste of it. Look, Article 4 of this legislation classifies the right to life, because he talks about death penalty. Right to life as a non-derogatable right which cannot be reduced by anyone in any situation, including in times of war, armed conflict, and situations of emergency. Look, the writer didn't make any copy paste about the Article 4 of Undang-Undang HAM, Indonesian Act on Human Rights, 1999. Instead, he write about the essence of this article. Not make any copy paste, and he support the message in the main ideas with Article 9. Look, Article 9 extend the applications of the non-derogable right to life to unborn babies as well as those sentenced to death. Article 9 is also the essence of this article. This article. And alongside these sections Article 75 to 99 of the Act provide general operational information on the Komnas HAM, and Article 89 specifically permit that in pursuit of their aims, the Komnas HAM hold the power to conduct assessment, research, to monitor, and provide counsel on human rights issues, and to act as the mediating body between parties involved in human rights disputes. Look, he makes summary from how many articles is this? 24 articles. So articles 75 to 99. It will be 24 articles, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. And he is successful to make a paraphrase of that many articles, yeah, without make any copy paste. He is successful to give or to summarize the essence of those articles, yeah. This is very important for law students, yeah, because in the past, or maybe still today, they are, you know, they are very eager to make a copy paste from all the articles. So the work, the academic work is very bad, because the essence is only making copy paste of many articles, yeah. A further example within the legislation that demonstrates Indonesia's shifted focus toward the recognition of human rights is Article 90. Yeah, he talked about the essence of Article 90, which collectively empowers ordinary members of the public and community groups to report complaints of human rights violations to the Komnas HAM. This formal acknowledgement of a legal voice for the Indonesian community is an important provision in satisfying the element of civil society accountability as per Smith's model, the reference, yeah. In addition to this, the Komnas HAM possesses the legal authority via Article 94 to compel witnesses, victims, prosecutors, and defendants to deliver testimonies or submit evidence in the case of human rights proceeding. You can imagine all the sentences by observing the Duren 3 case or Sambo case right now, yeah, what Komnas HAM have done with the case, yeah. This is very interesting. Yes, this is, I think, final example. Alongside the introductions of the Act, this period in time was also significant for the development of human rights in Indonesia because of the enactment of another act in 2000 concerning human rights courts. We have human rights courts afterwards, yeah. Article 4 and 7 of the legislations limits a human rights court to hear and rule only on cases of gross violation of human rights involving crimes of genocide and crimes against humanity. This is what we call as pelanggaran pelanggaran HAM berat, ya, pelanggaran HAM berat, ya. I will show you this writer finally make a copy paste of this article. It must be very urgent. So the writers finally make a copy paste, yeah. In addition to these provisions, Article 43 states that gross violations of human rights occurring prior to the coming into force of this act shall be heard and ruled on by an ad hoc human rights court. He wants to explain how the human rights court functions, to settle the gross violations of human rights, that are those are genocide and crimes against humanity. Article 43.2 further adds that an ad hoc human rights court shall be formed upon the recommendations of Parliament, DPR, for particular incidents upon issue of a presidential decree. So it must be presidential decree before the human rights court, ad hoc human rights court functions. So that was all about how to make a good paragraph, and now how to write an introductory paragraph. What is an introductory paragraph? You need to know about how to make it. No matter your writing will be, it could be a newspaper writing or article or a book or whatever it is, What introductory paragraph is about. When writing an essay, an introduction paragraph or introductory paragraph is one which is used to introduce the topic of the essays as well and will give the reader a clear idea of what the author's opinion on the topic is. A good introduction paragraph will entice the reader and get them engaged in what is being written about. There are three key elements to the introduction paragraph as follows. In introduction to the point of the essay, and a hook to engage the reader, and a thesis statement. You end this paragraph with a thesis statement or your opinion about the topic, Don't let your reader read your paper for many pages, but by writing a good introductory paragraph, your reader will know what the whole message of your writings. This is very important to hook your reader, a hook to engage your reader. How to make your reader engage with your essay, So you have to write a good introductory paragraph. Another example from Matthew Gross. This thesis is an analysis on the Komnas HAM and the death penalty in Indonesia. He only writes one sentence as an introductory paragraph, and all the readers will know about what the thesis is about. The reader do not have to read until the end. Just write the first introductory paragraph and they will know what is the thesis about. This thesis is an analysis on the Komnas HAM and the death penalty in Indonesia. Okay. The thesis is about Komnas HAM and the death penalty. The Komnas HAM, and then he goes further by writing about what is the Komnas HAM, and many human rights scholars conclude that Komnas HAM or national human rights institutions are government agencies that have the purported aim of implementing international human rights norms domestically. This is the mandate of Komnas HAM. Yeah. Accordingly, the Komnas HAM are the representative of human rights body within the Indonesian context and have specific aims to develop a conducive environment for the implementation of human rights in accordance with Pancasila, Indonesia's constitutions, the UN Charter, and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and to improve the protections and enforcements of human rights for the personal development of Indonesian people as a whole and enable their ability to participate in various aspects of life. That is the thesis about. This is very clever, right? Oh, sorry, it's double. Now about how to make a concise sentence or concise writing. Yeah, concise writing means using the fewest words possible to convey an idea clearly. Yeah, fewest words. Don't be boros. Reason why writing concisely is recommended so often. How to make it concise? How to make your sentence concise? First, fix your spelling and grammar. See the example, yeah? I can assure you this won't affect our timeline. You can replace effect with effect, yeah? Fix spelling, the right spelling, the proper spelling, yeah? Make every sentence concise by this example, yeah? We help them grow in a healthy and predictable manner. You can replace in a healthy and predictable manner with healthy and predictably. We help them grow healthy and predictably. Why should use many other words? Yeah, you can replace it with just simple word. Sound more confidence. I think we should be able to solve this issue for you. You can write. We can solve this issue for you. It's very simple, right? We can solve this issue for you. Instead, I think we should be able to solve. Okay, a better way to write. It may happen that we need to decide tomorrow. You can write it. We may need to decide tomorrow. It's not necessary. It may happen that we need. Yeah. Okay. Now, how to use efficient conjunction or how to use it properly. There are some conjunction, coordinating conjunction, correlative conjunctions, some subordinating conjunctions. There are a lot. You should put the right one. Yeah. Oh, okay. That was it, Leonie. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much for the amazing presentation, Prof. Solis. We really learned a lot of things from your presentations, and it gave us a new knowledge about how to write a good academic writing. So I can highlight to all of the participants that actually, like what Prof. Solis said, that writing a paper is like build a logic. So it's not only copy paste something from the source and make it for a new paper, but it's how you build a logic. And there are some essential components in academic journal, and I can say that all of the components are important from the introduction until the conclusions. And Prof. Solis also mentioned about some important substances, including about the historical context of the problem, or maybe a social, political, economic, or cultural context of the research problem, and also case studies or legal case. So for all of the law students, probably sometimes we think that we have a kind of problem that when we want to write a paper, sometimes we only mention about the regulations, but we never mention anything about maybe the historical side or social or any kind of in another context of the research problem. So this is something new that we also need to learn as a law students. And also Professor Liz mentioned about 4 essential elements on writing a good paragraph, which is unity, and then order, coherence, and completeness. So thank you so much, Professor Liz, for the presentation. And for now, we want to start our question and answer session. We have one question from Ms. Nancy. The question is, good day, Professor Liz. I'm writing a paper about the best practice of our organization's management strategy to thrive in the COVID-19 pandemic. How to compose a strong research objective, and can you enlighten me with an example? That's the question, Prof. Liz, please.
Okay. For Nancy, yeah? Okay, like mentioned earlier, your concept or your theoretical line will guide you, will direct you to write any step of your writing. Yeah, for example, I'm a social legal scholar. I'm legal anthropologist. I'm legal anthropologist means social legal scholars. Yeah, I used to think about problematize first the law, problematize the legal text. It could be law, it could be policies, yeah. And then I will formulate objective about how can certain law related to my topic can be criticized. So my research objective will be first about how to criticize the law. And the second, I always want to know how does law work among people? How does law work among women? Yeah, how in this sense is law benefit women or not, or disadvantage women? So the research objective, research problem, research questions you have will be guided by your theory or your concept. So you can recognize what study background of background of the writer from the way how they compose the objective or research problem or research questions. That was it.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Professor Liz. And actually, Ms. Nancy is also asking, like, can they propose their own conceptual framework, even though the paper is actually talking about the management strategy to achieve certain outcome, something like that?
Then we can propose our conceptual framework. Yes, you conceptual framework you formulate will be depend on your field of study, depend on your theoretical line. Like mentioned earlier, I would always problematize certain concept in my field of study. Access to justice is very, very famous concept on it. Yeah, access to justice, legal development. Yeah, I'm inspired by Commission on Legal Empowerment, who did a survey, and the survey said that there are 4 billion people around the globe suffer from poverty. This is not because of the economic issues, but because they do not have access to justice. This is a kind of a wake-up call for jurists. Hey, poverty is not economic problem, but legal problem because they do not have legal reform. They do not have access to legal literacy, legal identity, legal aid, etc., etc. Yeah. So the conceptual framework will be guided by your readings. Yeah, your readings in your field of study. Yeah. Did I answer your question? Oh, okay. Okay. I think somebody mentioned about COVID-19. Oh, Nancy, may I add some information about? Nancy, I did a small scale research on it, COVID-19 pandemic. What I did was I problematized the policies, the government policies dealing with the COVID-19, the pencegahan. What is pencegahan? The preventions and the curative thing. Preventions means all the policies about social distancing, prokes, wearing masker, washing the hand, etc., etc. And the curative things is about vaccinations. I don't know which one is prevention, which one is curative. Curative means if you already get the virus, if you already infected, and how the policies dealing with providing hospital, providing care system for the patients of COVID-19. So the first problem I formulated is about all the policies, and the second problem I want to produce knowledge on how all the policies implement in the daily life of the people. So that kind of.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Solis, for the explanations. Is there any participant that want to ask questions to Prof. Solis?
Yeah, please.
Okay, maybe I want to ask a questions to you, Prof. Solis.
Yes,
this is like from your experience, maybe what from your own experience, or maybe your student experience, like what are some common mistakes by young scholars when they write their articles?
Common mistake. My experience limited to study of law. First, many common mistakes. In methodological part, I'm questioning why faculty of laws in Aceh to Papuas make the same format or template in writing their research. It could be a bachelor research or bachelor work, master, or even the doctoral work. From Aceh to Papua, they use the same template. They use the same format. First one, latar belakang masalah. The second, pokok permasalahan. The third, kerangka teori, and the kerangka teori we can find out in even 3 level. Apa ya? Literature review, apa tuh? Tinjauan literature, kerangka konsep, kerangka teori, and then methodology. Ya, what they write about methodology, they just make copy from the methodological lecture, lecture on methodology. Bahan yang digunakan dalam penelitian ini 1 primer, 2 sekunder, 3 tersier. It has been for ages. They use the same template, yeah. And how about the kerangka theory, the theoretical framework? I don't know why the ideas is that, ya, tinjauan pusaka, kerangka konsep, kerangka teori. You just need one. You just need one part about kerangka theory. Kerangka theory is already a literature review. And what should you write about kerangka theory? It's not about mentioning all the big names, yeah. It's not about how you provide the toko kelontong about all the big names, but you should come up with your own narrations, your own story about what is your thought about the concept. That is why thesis statement consists of certain concepts is very important. You will be guided by the concepts. So you can very easy to find literature because you have already the concept. Legal pluralism. You go to the computer, you just text legal pluralism, and you can have so many literature about legal pluralism. Can you imagine without the concept, you cannot do anything? Yeah, that is why you need thesis statement, and from thesis statement, you can further concretize with the research questions. Yeah. So the mistake, because they do not have thesis statement, they do not have conceptual problem. First, and the second, because they do not have concept, they do not have any ideas about how to write in a theoretical framework. And another mistake is in methodology. They just make copy paste of the previous wrong thesis from other, from other kakak kelas. That was my answer, Leonie.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Slesia. Sometimes I also found something like that. Like when I read a paper, sometimes there are no connection between the topics with the theory, or maybe they just mention the name or theory without trying to connect about the theory and also what they want to discuss. And actually, we just got another questions from Bu Wiwik Awiati. Prof. Sulis, should we formulate research problems in the form of a research statement, or can we just write it as a part of the background? After that, we answer the question through subchapter of the paper.
Oh, it depends. You have to read many benchmarking dissertations from other universities abroad. Yeah, I don't know how to say. Yeah, if you read dissertations in Leiden or Melbourne or Monash, I'm sure you will not find latar belakang first, latar belakang dua. No, even the writers can come up first with theoretical background, theoretical problem, yeah, or they can come first with thesis statement or research questions. It's not necessary to be 1, 2, 3, 4. No, you just make your dissertation as a very beautiful story, very beautiful novel, academic novel, and the reader will be guided by your first paragraph, your introductory paragraph. So it is not necessary to, you know, I want to say that please don't consider methodology as something scary. Yeah, you have to write your own work with passionate, with creativity, innovations. So that's what I want to say to Mbak Wiwi, yeah. Don't worry about about the place. Don't worry about the the pembabakan, yeah. But I don't know, in Indonesia maybe your docent, your other docent will say that this is not known, this is not common in Indonesia. I don't know. The most important thing is you know what the best is in the world. But if you want to pass the exam, or you just want to get the PhD or master in Indonesia, yeah, you just follow the regulations.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Liz, for the explanations. And before we continue to the next questions, I would like to inform to all of the participants to fill the attendance form, and also don't forget to fill the participants' feedbacks letter after we finish these writing workshop sessions. Okay, we will continue to the next questions. Actually, it's coming from me, Prof. Liz, because we're still waiting for the other participants to ask the questions. This is about what you explained before about the originality of the journals. So I found in Indonesia, some article journals like to mention research originality in their introduction by mentioning a previous journal articles or research with similar topics. For example, like in the introduction sessions, they like to mention this topic before is written by someone with this title, anything like that. But the difference is like this. Do you think this is really necessary to do something like that to show the originality and novelty of the journals, or we actually have another way to show the differences between what we write in this journal and what previously write by the previous author?
Thank you, Lenny, for the questions. Once I I found out what the heading of tinjauan literatur, ya, literature preview. At certain university, I found out even that they write it down in a matrix. They come up with matrix, the name of the authors and the title of the book, and then etc. etc. No, no. You should grab the essence of the books, of the articles. It's already start in the background of study. I mentioned earlier, yeah. When you write background of study, that part consists of 3 zooming. The first zooming will be about what is your topic, and the second zooming, what you already know about the topic. It means that you should equip yourself by reading all the article books about the topics, yeah. it's already began earlier in the background of study. And then the third step will be, what would you like to add? What would you like to produce additionally? What would you like to produce? What would you like to contribute to the body of knowledge? That one I said about this. Oh, sorry. Did I answer your question?
Yes, Prof.
About the tinjauan literatur?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Prof, for the explanation. So we will, before we finish this writing workshop, this is the last question for Prof. Sulis. Like, do you have any final tips for aspiring authors to write an academic journals, and maybe some do's and don'ts that they have to follow when they want to write an academic journal?
Sorry, Leonie?
Yeah. Hello, Prof. Sulis. Could you hear me?
Yeah, please.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We just got another questions from Bapak Nurangga Firmanditya. Good afternoon, Professor Sulis. I would like to ask regarding the thesis statement. Is there any rule of thumb in creating a good thesis statement, especially since readers might decide to commit their time to read a research paper based on the whether the thesis statement piques their interest or not? Also, relating to the scope of the research, how to decide if a scope is too wide or too narrow? Thank you.
Okay. Thesis statement is theory. You formulating thesis statement means you building your own theory. It's already started in the beginning. Yeah, after you formulate your background of study and you finish your promise to produce certain knowledge on that topic, and then you go further to represent all the stories into certain concept, one concept or 2, 3 concepts. That is the thesis statement. What is theory? Theory is a building consists of some concepts that the relations among the concept, you can explain it in a thesis statement. Thesis statement is just a paragraph consists of a concept or some concepts. That thesis statement for, yeah. And the thesis statement will guide you to go further, to search literature, to collect the data, to organize your data, to analyze your data until you finish with the conclusions. Of course, thesis statement is very abstract, so you should concretize it with research questions. Research questions should be operationalized. You should mention it's about a domestic worker, Indonesian domestic worker in the UAE. You should mention the locations of the study. That's it. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Prof. Solis, for the explanations. And because we almost, it's almost 5 p.m. in Indonesia time, we want to close our workshop. And before we close this workshop, I would like to ask you for the final tips or any for the closing statement to aspiring authors that maybe you can give to us, please, Prof. Solis.
Thank you. My friends, we are now entering 100 years of Indonesia rights in 2045. We do not have any longer jungle, forest, or iron or gold or everything in the earth, in our bumi, in our earth. So what we should promote, or what as Indonesia, what we can sell to the world? Your brain. What is that mean? The academic work, academic paper, journal article is the richness of Indonesia, is the treasure, Indonesian treasure. So if you publish all the book chapter, journal article, and it means that you selling Indonesia to the world. Academic or scientific evidence about Indonesia, how beautiful is Indonesia, with all the knowledge on many fields of studies, social sciences, legal sciences, will be included. That's what I want to share with you.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Liz, for all of the explanations. We are really glad to have you as our speakers, and we also want to thank to all of the participants to join us for our writing workshop today. We really hope that maybe next time we will have another opportunity to discuss and learn more for you, Professor Liz, because actually I really enjoy to read all of your paper and also your books before, since I was a student, and I really glad to have an opportunity to meet you online like this. Okay, so this is all about our writing workshop today. Thank you so much, and see you in the next writing workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, Leonie. Thank you, everybody. There is no feedback.